Okay, hey everyone, welcome to SIG Docs new contributor meet and greet call for the month of June. We have this call once every month and on the first Tuesdays of every month. And I'd like to remind you all that this call is part of the Kubernetes community, and we abide by the CNCF Code of Conduct, which basically boils down to be awesome with each other. Yeah, so my name is Sridhar Venkatesh. I'm the new contributor ambassador for SIG Docs. And usually in these calls, what we do is if you're someone uh, trying to contribute to SIG Docs, or if you've made your first contribution and you'd like to uh, get your get to know the way around things, or if you're someone who has not made any contribution but would like to make your first contribution, we can help you with that. And if you have any questions related to opening your first pull request or anything like that, we can talk about them here. So usually what we do is we go around introducing ourselves. So I guess now, since it's just two of us, we can get that done quickly.
Yeah.
So my name is Sriram. I work at Big Bindery. I'm from India, and I've been part of the Kubernetes community for like a year and a half now, I guess.
So my name is Matteo. I'm from Italy, but I live in the Netherlands, and I'm working as a developer relations engineer for Omnistrate. I've been working with Kubernetes for a long time, but I've been involved with the community since 1 year and a half roughly, not in the capacity of contributing directly to Kubernetes, but more like in the event part. So I organize KCD in the Netherlands and the Dutch Cloud Native Meetup. But now I want to also contribute more in a technical way. So starting from the docs and then eventually work my way up for more code into Kubernetes. So.
Yeah, awesome. Are you organizing any birthday bash events this week?
Yes, I'm part of the Italian birthday bash as a panelist because they are doing an online meeting. And I'm organizing a physical meetup in the Netherlands at Datadog's offices. We have an amazing barbecue and some cakes laying around. So it's going to be fun.
Awesome.
Are you organizing something in India?
I'm not part of the organizing team, but I'm attending two of them.
Nice.
There is one on Friday and another one on Saturday. So
it's exciting. 10 years of Kubernetes is a long time.
Yeah. I'm
I've
looking
been
forward to meeting
working with that for 5 years. So I saw a lot of evolution.
That's awesome. Yeah, so usually this meeting is it is supposed to be just for SIG docs, but if someone has any question related to other areas of Kubernetes, we try to get them answered or follow up with the person offline in Slack. So since you mentioned that you've been working for a long time in Kubernetes, I'm pretty sure that you'll be comfortable with the technical side of it. So I would suggest that you join the SIG docs bi-weekly meetings. So I'm not sure. Yeah, there is not there isn't a meeting this week, but on next Tuesday on 11th, SIG docs has a meeting where usually what happens in these meetings, if you have not joined any of them yet, is people discuss their pull requests or issues which they're looking for contributors to pick up and so on. And yeah, you can find something to work on in these meetings.
So I'm currently part of the shadow for comms for Kubernetes 1.31, and I joined the docs meeting. So it's that's why I'm also here, because I like to understand probably what's the overlap between SIG docs and the comms team. Maybe it's not that obvious to me from externally, because I see that Kubernetes, the technical part is pretty clear, but the governance part, so how the SIG works and how the SIG works together, different SIGs, that's not too clear to me, probably because I'm new. So.
Right. I get that. I get why that would be confusing, because I'm part of the enhancements team for 131. and
Uh-huh.
like, I'm guessing we would have like seen each other in the release team call. Maybe I'm not sure.
Yeah, yeah,
Yeah, but like a lot of context with how the teams work, I guess, is like many of it is like I think most of it is written in the handbook itself, but there is
yeah.
some overlap between like certain teams, like comms and docs, for example. And in the past, there used to be two separate teams called bug triage and CI signal. So bug triage would go through all the issues and keep track of them. CI signal would keep checking the CI runs and make sure that the tests are passing and so on. But since there was a lot of overlap between these two, they eventually merged it to single role called release signal, which does both the work. I think something similar is going to happen with docs and comms in the future,
Uh-huh.
probably, because a lot of the work is like overlapping. Like I'm not entirely sure how much of it is overlapping because I'm not sure what the work exactly is.
Because
Uh,
comms is mostly like blogs. We have the meet
hmm,
blog for removals and deprecations, and then we have
right,
the release blog for like every new feature, and we have the
right,
webinar after the release, like after some weeks of the release when it's stable. And we
right.
keep track of all the, of course, current features, being major themes, which is a new thing for this release.
Hmm,
At least my lead Abby told me that. So we have this thing where we communicate with each SIG, and we understand like SIG storage, SIG network, and we understand what are the major themes for this release related to that SIG, and we keep them on track, like to understand that and create like a more broad spectrum image of what will be in this release so
right.
we can inform people better about the changes and stuff. So our
Hmm,
job is probably more like SIG docs is more specific, I think. So more like breaking down the feature, how it works. Our job is more like creating a storytelling around the feature. So I think it
right.
overlaps a lot.
Hmm,
But in my experience is a bit different. I think that merging the teams would be also beneficial in a way,
hmm,
because the collaboration
hmm,
has to be there anyway,
right,
and maybe having the same team is a good choice. But now I'm too new to say it, so uh,
right, right. Yeah,
let's see how it
even
goes
I'm
for this
not
team.
to yeah, even I'm not that like up to speed of what the docs team and the comms team are doing exactly
Mhm.
to comment on whether it's like too early or like to merge the teams or not. Uh, but yeah, I think I heard like Cat talk about this in I think it was like the previous releases retro meeting or
Mhm.
something. I guess I'm not sure, but yeah. So if you want to like contribute to like the documentation other than the release team work, like, there are a couple of things that I can share my screen and show you.
Yeah,
Yeah, so the SIG Docs has like a PR Wrangler program. So every week, uh, one of the approvers is assigned to be the PR Wrangler. So
hmm,
what they'll do is they'll go through all the open pull requests and review them and try to get them merged. And this PR Wrangler program has like a shadow role, which if you're interested, you can like contact. So I think June 4th. So most of the coming weeks are like taken up, I guess. But if you would like to like serve as a shadow for a week, reviewing PRs, the documentation PRs, uh, and work with an approver, like you can reach out to them and
yeah,
show your interest, and they'll be happy to have you, and like, you can get to know how the documentation pull requests are like reviewed and using all
nice,
the whole process that goes behind it. And yeah,
very cool.
this
Okay,
is
cool.
something that is like discussed in the SIGDocs meeting as well. So you can find this in the Kubernetes
Mhm.
website wiki. I'll post it in the chat.
Yeah, very nice. I'll save the link. Yeah, because this is the easiest way probably even to get to know the PR process because I think it's
Right.
probably, I have no idea actually if it's the same
Mhm.
even for like a proper feature like coding Kubernetes. Is that a
Mhm.
similar process for the PR?
So it is similar, but like I'll like, sort of like go through like all the information that I have like off the top of my head. So
Hmm.
all the documentation pull requests are made in the Kubernetes slash website repository where like if you are like reviewing a PR, then if you have the technical knowledge, uh, that would also be like useful because you can actually review like not just how the documentation is worded, but the technical accuracy of it as well.
Uh-huh.
But for Kubernetes, like the actual code PR, like the issues and PRs are created in the Kubernetes slash Kubernetes
Uh-huh.
report. And we also have this thing called Kubernetes enhancements proposal.
Yeah,
So
the KEP. Yeah, those are nice.
yeah, yeah. So these are more like bigger features. So in the Kubernetes slash Kubernetes repository, you can like create pull requests for like bug fixes or like smaller changes. But if the feature that you're proposing is like considerably big, or if it would have like changes, like if it would affect other parts of the project, uh,
Uh-huh.
like you would probably need to like write this design document. So kept
Mm.
or the Kubernetes enhancement proposal is like a document. They have like a template uh, where they have like a bunch of questions like
Ah, makes sense.
how are you
Okay.
planning to test this feature, or like what would happen if this feature is like rolled back and then like disabled, or would it break any existing code or something. So you need to fill this document, and the like someone needs to like review this before your feature is approved. So you like need to describe all the design details and all what all code changes are you planning to make, uh, and like how do you like plan to test this and so on. So you can see all. So these are like sorted by the different SIGs. So let's say we
Mhm.
want to make a change to the API server, you'd need to start a kept in the SIG API machinery, and someone from the API machinery SIG, like an approver from the API machinery SIG, would need to approve this kept. We can see previous keps, like all the sort of
Okay.
details that they've like,
Well, this is very helpful even for us when in comms at least, because we need to understand what features are being built in this
mm,
release. So probably I can look at the cap document for each
yeah,
item for this release. Okay,
yeah.
cool, very
And
cool.
we also have a tracking board. So this is what the enhancements team is doing. Like we
Oh
have
yeah,
this
I have
tracking
the same
board where
for comms. We have the same for comms.
oh yeah, I think it's like the same. Yeah, yeah, it's there in the
Yeah.
same
Uh-huh.
like board, I guess.
Very
Uh,
nice.
yeah, this is where people like add their kits, and all of these might not make it to the release. Uh, we have deadlines for when the design document needs to be ready and when the code PRs needs to be ready and all that.
Uh-huh.
So if a kept
Yeah,
doesn't
when
make it,
we have the code freeze, we can look at the cap then.
right, yeah. And if a kept doesn't have its code PRs merged into the Kubernetes repo before the code freeze, then they'll have to try again in the next release. So yeah, this is
Nice.
also something that might be useful. And yeah, all of these design documents are stored in the enhancements repository. Share a link to that as well. Yeah, that is pretty much everything I have off the top of my head. If you have anything else, we can talk
No, I
about like
think
anything specific.
it's pretty good already. Like now I learned about the caps, like where they are. I knew about them, but I didn't know how where to
Right,
find them.
right.
Yeah. Okay, pretty cool.
Yeah. So
Okay.
if you like the process of like proposing a new feature, uh, it's like you'll have to first create an issue in the enhancements repository, and like you'll have to like describe which version you're targeting for alpha, and so probably before this happens, before you create this issue, like a discussion would have taken place uh,
Mm-hmm.
in some SIG meeting, or like this is something that people do usually. Like they'll create a Google Doc where they propose their idea and then pass it around to different
Mm-hmm.
folks in the SIG, and like, people would add their comments. And uh, once it is like once they've reached like a consensus, they can then go ahead and create the issue, then
Cool.
uh, follow the release process.
Uh-huh. Yeah, and then they create the cap issue
Yeah,
with all the okay.
yeah. Which in most cases would probably be like a summary of all the discussion that has like happened here. So they propose something, and the approver, or like the SIG tech lead, would ask questions to make sure that everything, like all the edge cases are handled, and so
Mm-hmm.
together with all of that, they will make the cap.
So yeah, probably it's better to start with like a small bug fix or something, like a good first issue
Right.
on the Kubernetes repo itself, more than
Yeah.
I mean, probably I cannot right away propose an enhancement on the top of my head. I can't think about a feature now. But yeah,
Hmm.
yeah, maybe being more familiar with the code of Kubernetes itself, it's easier
Right.
to. Uh-huh.
Right. Right. But
Cool.
I would also say that you don't have to propose one yourself. Like there could be enhancements which are like inactive. Like
Ah,
someone would have like started it, but then they didn't have the bandwidth to uh,
to follow up.
work on it. Yeah, yeah. Or in some cases, the person who like proposed the cap might work on the alpha release, but then it
Mhm.
is stuck in alpha since then, and like there is some work pending to get it to beta, and
Uh-huh.
like we can take that up. So we can see that sometimes the person who's like assigned to the cap is not the person who's like created the issue. That is something that I've seen previously, like in older caps. That is something that I guess we can like know if we join the meetings of a particular SIG. And I guess we can, like, let's say you're familiar with the networking side of things, you can maybe like join the SIG network meetings and ask them if there is any cap that you can possibly contribute to.
Uh-huh. That's super nice. Okay. Yeah, about the meetings, I know that every SIG has their own open calendar with all the meetings, right, that
Right.
you can join. So yeah,
So
that's
if you're not familiar with it, like there is this Kubernetes.dev website. You can find
oh
the
no.
community calendar where you can see all the meetings,
Okay.
all days of the. I will share this.
This is actually very helpful. I didn't know about this. Okay. Probably this can be in the handbook. I can add it.
Hmm.
Very nice.
Yeah, I think there are like bunch of other within the Kubernetes contributors website, you'll be able to find documentation on how to get started with contributing, like how do you set up the code and so on. I think you should be able to
Okay.
find it.
Very nice. Perfect. This website is amazing. I didn't know about it. I mean, some of it seems to be like the web version of the handbook because I see the CLA stuff.
Right, right. There is a lot of overlap between the handbooks and the readmes of particular repositories. Like
Uh-huh.
there is SIG release, or like even within the Kubernetes repo, I think this one. Yeah, I think even here,
Yeah, you have some.
in the contributing.md file, there would be like, yeah, sorry,
Yes.
the Kubernetes community repository. So there is this repository Kubernetes/community where there is like a lot of documentation uh, on how you can contribute, how to set up a local development environment and so on. And they also have like documentation specific to each particular SIG. So if I take SIG API machinery, uh, they'd have like documentation related to the API server, uh, like who is responsible for running the SIG, who are the tech leads and all of that. And I'm not sure where it is, but I do know that there is like a, uh, I think it is contributors and development. Yeah, there is like a documentation on how you can run Kubernetes locally and build
Uh-huh.
the images and so on.
Yeah, in this one I already have a PR open because I wanted to clarify the CLA process because it's not very
Okay.
clear how to do it in an easy way, especially for a release team. So if you don't have any contribution, you can open a PR
Hmm.
on the SIGs on the playground and just sign the CLA in that
Uh,
way. It was not very clear on the
right.
documentation, so I had to find it out, and
Okay.
that's nice.
Yeah,
Okay,
you have to like open a PR first before you can sign the CLA.
exactly. But you can only open a PR if you have signed the CLA. Like,
Hmm.
there's only one repository that you can freely open a PR
Okay.
without any. So
Let's see. Right.
yeah, that's
Yeah,
nice.
that is
Okay.
something that I've found helpful while working with the release team, because a lot of the processes are like not clear, or they can be made more clear in the handbooks, and that is some like that's a way that new contributors can like build upon the existing handbooks and make it better. There is like a lot of opportunity.
Yeah. Okay. This is pretty cool. Thanks for the help and the good points and links. Thanks a lot.
Yeah, yeah, yeah. I don't have anything else, but we can like stay in touch in Slack or something. If you have anything, I can like
Yeah,
point you to the right people, even if I'm not able to answer it, maybe.
very nice.
Yeah,
Thanks a lot. So see you next time. Maybe in the release team meeting. So
yeah, definitely.
yeah, yeah, perfect. Thank you a lot.
Thanks.
Bye bye.
Bye.